Hello, my name is Jenelle. Thank you for joining me on my channel. This is the Inspiring with TV channel. I usually talk about fashion and lifestyle stuff and beauty stuff, and I am 37.5 weeks pregnant. So as you can see in this video, I'm going to be talking about what is in my go bag for giving birth. I'm birthing at the family birth center, so you could call it a hospital bag, but it's kind of a little bit different. I'll go into that. But I'm going to share what I'm planning on packing. First time mum, so I have probably got a lot of things in here that I may not need, but I'm personally someone who prefers to be more prepared than less prepared, because that stresses me out. So I have a lot of bits and pieces in here, and I'm really excited to share them with you. Let's get stuck into what I have. So, welcome to the nursery. I haven't actually shared what the full nursery looks like yet. By the time this goes up, it's not quite finished because we've just moved house a few weeks ago. So I will be sharing that to come. But I wanted to get through the hospital bag stuff before I went too much further. In terms of prepping for what I am packing, I asked a bunch of friends what they recommend, what was on their list. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. There's plenty of other resources out there, but I wanted to share mine as well. And I asked on my Instagram if anyone wanted to see what I'm packing, and they did. So, yeah, if you don't follow me on Instagram as well, it's at Inspiring Wit. You'll probably see updates there more regularly, but I am enjoying YouTube, creating more content, so we're kind of getting more videos out into the world now. So thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe. I would love that. It's very sweet. So the other place that I went to was one of the many books that I've been reading while I've been pregnant. And one that I really loved is the Zen Mama's book. This one, I bought it from like Big W or Kmart or something like that, but you can buy it online. It's with Teresa Palmer and Sarah Wright Olsen. I think this one has probably been the one that resonated with me the most, because they kind of simplify a bunch of stuff. Like, I mean, I read the classic What to Expect When You're Expecting, and back here I have a pile of 6 or 7 other books that I've read. But yeah, this one, I guess they summarize things really well. It's really well written. It's very down to earth and practical and fun to read. Mario read it as well. But in here they have a section on what to pack for your hospital bag, and I really found that was a useful list. So some of that is from this book. Highly recommend. Yeah, especially if you are also a first-time mum. It's a great little book, and it's not as long as some of the others, so it's a good resource. To begin with, I will just show you the case that I plan on taking. This one is a July carry-on suitcase. People recommended taking a wheelie bag. Sorry, that was my action. A wheelie bag to carry everything in, just because it makes it easier. This one also has, it's been customized, has my surname on it, so hopefully it won't go missing as well. And yeah, hopefully that will carry most of the things that I will be talking you through. That is an Australian company. July are based in Melbourne, have great luggage and luggage organisers and other bits and pieces like that. I've gotten a few things from them, and I think they're really great. Good quality and pretty affordable for what they are. So that's what I'm packing things in. But then I do also have my Everlane leather tote bag as well, which is basically what I'll be using as a diaper bag. And I'm planning on just putting dividers inside where I need them. So rather than go out and buy a specific diaper bag, let's get started. So I have in no particular order, because actually this is the second time I filmed this video. First time the audio didn't work. So we're going again, and I kind of messed up my arrangement here. So my order is going to be a bit all over the place with what I'm packing, but let's start here. So I've got pads for after giving birth. Obviously you bleed a lot for the first, some people have said 2 weeks, some people say 5 weeks or more. But yeah, so these are maternity pads from Tom Organic. They're hypoallergenic as well. Yeah, just picked them up from Coles, but they also sell them on the Tom Organic website or the Memo, lots of places, or I think also Amazon. But yeah, these are what I've got. I've got a few of those for recovery, and for when I'm in the hospital, I just have a small pack of tissues because I'm constantly blowing my nose anyway while I've been pregnant. But I'm sure I will cry at some point during, and I don't want to have to rely on the birth centre for tissues. I just want to have my own, and if Mario needs them too, my partner, they're a small box. I've got a couple of Hoka products here. I've got the Silicone Colostrum Set. I've been trying to hand express already, 37.5 weeks now. So far we haven't had any luck, but we've only tried it like twice, I think. But then my midwife also gave me some like silicone, syringes to try and collect colostrum. So we'll see how we go. I have to sterilize these first, but that is something that I've got here. I don't know if I'm going to be using it. Hopefully I will have collected some colostrum by the time we're in the birth center, and I have them just stored from the freezer. But I also have the silicone breast pump and cap set from the Hoka that everybody talks about to catch your letdown. Again, I'm not really sure if I'm going to need that, but I would rather have it with me just in case. Probably didn't mention this before. As I said, I recorded this video already, so I might get a little bit lost. Birthing at the family birth centre is slightly different from the hospital. You're not there for days and days. Basically, once you've given birth, they can dispatch you and let you go home within 4 to 6 hours of having had your baby. And then the midwives come and visit you 12 or so hours later, and then the days following they come and visit you at home for the next like 5 days, and make sure that you're like baby's latching properly and stuff like that, and everybody's all good, and all those kind of things. So yeah, I've almost basically packed as if I was going to the hospital. The family birth centre I'm going to is attached via a corridor to the main women's hospital. So if anything goes wrong, they basically will wheel you up to the hospital, and in which case you're probably likely to stay longer. So that's in an emergency situation, and I have, just to be safe, packed extra stuff in case something like that happens. And whether it ends up in my case or whether it ends up in a separate bag for somebody to come and collect from our house, if that is the case, and bring to us, I just want to be prepared. So yeah, essentially a lot of this I'm not going to need, but it'll be pre-packed and ready to go, and then ready to be unpacked when we get home after giving birth. So we'll see. A lot of this is probably just overkill, but alright, let's keep going. I bought a TENS machine, and this is one of the maternity sort of TENS machines. So it has like a booster button, and essentially the TENS machine, you put these sticky pads onto your lower back there when you are when you're in labour, early stages of labour, and that helps sends an electric pulse to those pads, and like just helps relief with uncomfortable, I'm trying to say discomfort as opposed to pain, but yeah, it's you get it. Essentially that is meant to divert your attention, I suppose, and to help with that. Because ideally we will be doing a non-medicated birth at the birth centre. They don't offer epidurals or anything like that. So essentially, like, anything that I can do to help get through the whole birth, non-medicated we went with. And yeah, you can just order these online. This one came really quickly, and you can use it for sports injuries and things like that, which we're both very active, so we'll have that in our house ready for when we are injured in the future. But I'm definitely going to be using that pre-labour or early stages of labour. Early stages, not pre-labour. In the early stages while I'm labouring at home for as long as possible, I'll be using that. I can't use it in the car, but I can't use it in water, like in the shower or the pool or anything, birth pool. But yeah, I'm going to be using that wherever I need to, where I can. I have a little Ziploc bag here at the moment with organic washcloths that I'm going to put some, I'll dampen and I'll put some drops of essential oils in, I'll dampen and put some essential oils onto, and then I'll just kind of keep them in a couple of Ziploc bags depending on which, you know, if I do a lavender one, a clary sage one, some other, I don't know what other essential oil I would use, but anyway, I'll put them in the fridge beforehand. I just haven't done that as yet, but they don't want you to burn any, you know, incense or candles or diffuse anything at the birth centre because it might interrupt with someone else's labour, so they advise to do something like this instead. So that is going to be for me to breathe in and, you know, put on my forehead if I need a damp cloth, that kind of thing. So these are actually just a packet of 12 organic cotton washcloths worth $4 or $5 from Target. So that was a good buy. And then I have, to keep the room nice and dim and moody with the lighting, I've got a few tea light, like those fake tea light candles to use. They have them already at the birth centre, but we were given these when we did a Hypnobirthing Australia course, so I'm bringing them with me as well. They're just a few of them, battery operated. I can go into a bit about hypnobirthing at the end, maybe. I'll get to it. So then I've got some cotton wipes, cotton balls, and then cotton buds. Friends of ours gave us a big packet of these at our baby shower, and that was some of the things that they used with their newborn. I think basically, from what I understand, because I haven't done this yet, they use these initially to wipe your baby's bum, so it's nice and gentle on their skin in those first few days. And speaking of baby bums, I've got some eco-friendly disposable nappies from Tushies by Tom's. These are the newborn size. Heaps here. Again, I don't really know how many to pack because I don't think that we're going to be there very long, but just in case. I am planning to use cloth nappies as much as possible. So I have this whole trolley thing here that I bought from IKEA, full of cloth nappies, nappy covers, the liners, terry toweling cloths, all that kind of stuff. But I do also have some disposables as well, because people say that they end up doing a mixture, particularly at night time. They prefer the disposables. And then I've got nappy creams and barrier creams and stuff like that in here as well, ready to go. But I think just for that initial time that we're going to be going to the birth centre, I will just pack these disposables. And then I've also got the Tushies by Tom's wipes as well. So these are all available on Amazon or Coles or the Tushies by Tom's website, and the memo, lots of places. These ones are over 99% water-based, fragrance-free, biodegradable, non-toxic, compostable, plastic-free wipes. So I don't feel as bad about these, but I am waiting for a reusable wipes kit that I ordered to arrive, and I will probably share that in another video once that arrives. And I'm assuming, looking at the dates, that that is due to come. It's going to be arriving after the baby. But yeah. Then I also have a couple of terry toweling cloths just in case to use as whatever I need it for. Burp cloths, all kinds of whatever I need. You never know. So those are handy. Then I have a towel for while I'm at the birth centre. So at the birth centre you have the option to birth in the birth pool or the tub. They've got the blow up ones, and then they have a set one as well, which is like a first in, first best dressed scenario if you're giving birth. But yeah, I plan on doing a water birth, so towel will be very handy. And it's probably a good time to talk about hypnobirthing. So we did a Hypnobirthing Australia course, and it was a 2-day course run by a lady called Renee here in Perth. I'll leave the links below for her information. We got so much out of doing the course, not only for the hypnobirthing techniques, but just in terms of understanding birth a bit more, and knowing our like rights and things like that. She really went through quite a lot of things that I'm just so glad that we know now. If I hadn't have had that opportunity, I feel like there would have just been a few things that we didn't know about. And I just feel so much better informed. And I think like knowledge is power, and obviously I've read stacks of books, watched so many videos and birth videos, and talked to so many people and resources as I can. But yeah, the hypnobirthing thing works, I think, for me to feel calm and just more excited, I guess, about giving birth instead of being afraid. They have a lot of resources with surrounding fear exercises to sort of address fears that you might have before your birth. Yeah, which I think has just been really helpful. Essentially, they are like meditation tracks, and then they have things like acupressure points that they suggest. There's all kinds of suggestions of things that will help you ideally have a lovely, gentle birth experience, labour and birth. But yes, so there's a few things that I've got in here that are like hypnobirthing related. So one is an eye mask for while I'm trying to stay in the zone, stay doing my hypnosis meditations, listening to those tracks in my headphones, especially if I'm going to be labouring at home for as long as possible, but then when we're moving in the car, I think I'll be popping this on to not break that relaxation and get distracted by the traffic and whatever is going on outside of the car. Yeah, so I anticipate wearing this one on the way to the birth centre, and then probably when we're there if I need to as well. And then I've also got one of those bean pillows, which I'll put some essential oils on. These are beautiful. They use them when you go and have pregnancy massages. They kind of just pop it on your eyes, and it's got like a tiny bit of weight, and it just feels so relaxing. And these really help to just like get me in the zone of relaxation and feeling more calm. So those are two little bits and pieces. Then I also have a folder here with some hypnobirthing bits and pieces. And it will also have my birth preferences in it, which we've gone over with our midwife. We put it together as a part of our homework through the hypnobirthing course, which is just a really great chance for us to do that together, sit down and go through all of those preferences and address different emergency situation scenarios and things like that, and look at what we really would ideally want. If it doesn't go according to plan, there's backup options, and yeah, at least we both know where we're at, and we can put that on the door at either the hospital or the birth centre, depending on where we end up. Hopefully still the birth centre. Everything's been low risk so far, so I'm pretty confident. But then I've also got here an Acupressure cheat sheet for labour and birth, and it goes through acupressure points. I've got the breathing, bearing your baby down sheet, which is just like a reminder sheet if I get a bit stuck. And then we have a quiet please sign for the door to tell people that we're hypnobirthing. And then finally we have a birth partner's cheat sheet, which covers like techniques to use, positions, talking about those breathing techniques through the transitions and bearing your baby down. Then there's prompts that the birth partner can use between surges, during surges, as I'm bearing the baby down, and any interventions or special circumstances that come up. Those like references are there for him to go back to, which is really handy because I hear a lot of women, once they're in the zone, don't speak any further when they're in labour, or they can't think of what to say. At least Mario knows what I want and can speak for me if I can't speak for myself. I don't have any idea what I'm going to be like. So again, being as prepared as possible is where I'm at. So moving on from that,